Okay, so we have this object of mass 3 kg falling vertically from rest. So meaning that the initial speed is 0. Right? Okay, so the air resistance is given by this empirical equation. So meaning R equal to 0.6 V. So where V is the velocity. Right? Okay, so we are asked for two parts. What is the maximum velocity and what is the acceleration of the object? Okay, so first thing, if you look at the maximum velocity just means terminal velocity, which is as good as saying A is equal to 0. So when will A be equal to 0 is when your weight is equal to the air resistance. So that is when there's no resultant force. So if there's no resultant force, right, means that there shouldn't be any acceleration, which has mean that you have attained your maximum velocity already. Okay, so let's determine how do we actually determine what's the maximum velocity. Okay, first we are given the mass, so 3 kg, right? So you simply just calculate 3 multiplied by 9.1. So this will actually give you about 29.43 Newton. So the weight of this object is about 29.43 Newton. Means that this air resistance must also be 29.43 Newton. So with this, I can simply just do a bit of the calculation. Right? So I simply just look at this. R equal to 0.6 V. Right? So AR air resistance, right, is equal to 0.6 V, which means that this air resistance, right, is about 29.43 Newton, will give you 0.6 V, which if you calculate the V, right, is about 49.1 like that, or 49.05. So you round off to 49 meter per second. So the answer is either C or D. Right? So if you look at the very first part, every time you see maximum velocity, always think of acceleration equal to 0. Okay, so now with this, right, they ask us for the second part, which is the acceleration of the object when the velocity is about 12 meters per second. Okay, first thing, we need to determine what is the air resistance. Because they tell us that air resistance is a function of your speed, right? So it means that 0.6, right, you multiply by 12. So this will give you about, let's see, okay, 0.6 times 12. Okay, about 7.2 like that. So your air resistance is about 7.2 Newton. Okay, what about your weight? Your weight never changed. So meaning is weight is equal to 29.43 Newton. Okay, so with this, right, now it's back to a bit of O level. Not say a bit, it's fully back to O level already. Right? Okay, you look at this, what is the resultant force? You simply just use this minus weight this. That will give you the resultant force. So the resultant force will be downward 29.43, right? Minus weight 7.2. So the resultant force will be 22.23 Newton. Now we go back to F equal to MA. So F equal to MA, where F is the resultant force, right? 22.23. So what is the mass? The mass is about 3 kg. So definitely you can find acceleration. So the acceleration is roughly 7.41 Newton. So that is how you actually solve this question. So the answer is 10 mark.